Hello, Romel. This is my flight box, and it is designed for nitro planes and everything that goes with that. But you can make this to be relevant to electrics or, in your case with your big airplane, gas oil mix, so you can incorporate all the needs for that type of a setup into your box. But these boxes are extremely handy. Some people even make a little side shelf with a little safety strap for their transmitter. And so when they carry their box, they carry everything, their plane, and then everything they use, including their transmitter, so you only have two things to carry. As you can see, it has pockets. This is my starter. This is the alcohol bottle that is so handy to use. Inside this box there is a battery that is a 12-volt battery, and these two little items are pumps, and this pump works these hoses. The one with the filter on the end is the fill pump or the fill hose, and the one that says pump is the one that draws the fuel out of the bottle. This hose is a return hose, and I hook it up to the muffler where we pipe off manifold pressure, and when the tank gets full it runs over out the tube and dribbles out the muffler. So I connect this to the tube that's connected to the manifold pressure, and I can recycle the fuel that overflows when I'm filling back into this fuel bottle. This is the dip tube inside the fuel tank, and you can see there's a little clunk, and inside that clunk is a little filter as well to keep the debris out of the carburetor. This fuel bottle, and I have two of them in this box, it makes my box kind of heavy, plus the battery, is made from a recycled cleaning supply bottle. So you can see the box is made out of thin plywood, or I don't even remember what I made it out of, but it has the compartments measured to fit the various items that I wanted to put in my box. Now this yellow device is my starter, and my mother bought me this for Christmas when I was 14 years old. It is a 12-volt starter. It's made by Sullivan. I received this as a gift from her in the 70s. And then I hook it up there on my studs, and you place the rubber on the nose cone right there, and hit the button. It's got a button on the bottom where you can squeeze with your hands, And it has a pretty good torque, and it will start the motor. It spins the motor, and then the power to the glow plug lights the glow plug, and away it goes. So I usually just fold the cord up like this. And it took me a while to design this to where it worked good and it was easy. It fits in a little pocket down there, holds it in place, and I just poke my wires in there like that. And it's neatly tucked away. This little guy is a voltmeter, and it's simply a go, no-go for your batteries. And you can see right here, the negative is common, and you put the positive here, and it'll test your receiver. And you put the positive on this side, and it will test your transmitter battery. And then all you have to do is have the the relevant matching connectors, and it'll let you know whether you're safe to fly or not. This little box is a quick charge that allows you to charge your batteries off the 12-volt battery that is inside the box. And once again, on one side you have TX there for transmitter, and then on this side you have RX for receiver. And then once you have your receiver battery connected, for instance, you press the yellow button that says down here, the yellow button would be receiver, up here would be for transmitter. The red light will come on. Of course, you have to turn this on first, so the green light comes on, so the box is on. But then you press the yellow button, the red light comes on, and as long as it's red, it is charging. And when it begins to flash rapidly, it is fully charged. When you charge it with this box, however, your charge don't last as long because it's a quick charge, a fast charge. And the slow charge always lasts longer. Looks like I got some trash here. My box isn't very clean. A little wood bark. This is a little 4-way wrench, and it has holes drilled in it, and they're threaded. So each of the 4 sides you can put a spare glow plug. In case you burn one out at the field, you can replace it. This big end is for your prop nut, and this long one down here is for the glow plug. And these other 2 are just various sizes, a 3/8 and a 7/16. This is a 1/2 inch, which is like a 13 millimeter. And then your glow plug is usually a 5/16 size. Sort of a standard size, no matter where you buy them. This is a battery charger, and it charges the 12-volt automotive battery that I have on the inside of the box. The automotive battery is a little tiny battery, typical of what you would see in a little tiny sports car like a Mazda Miata or some little 2-seater. It's about the size of a lawnmower battery. And then as you come around the back side, you can see the plug in, and you can put an extension cord on that. And then plug it into the wall, and then that charges the power supply for the box. Up here on top we have the control panel, and these have some options. You can plug your 12-volt starter directly into these sockets if you have the right connections. I have alligator clips on mine, so I plug them in to these lead studs that are similar to automotive battery posts, and they are wired directly to the battery that's inside. However, this is also wired directly to the battery inside. And then these are for pumps, and some people have a pump on their fuel bottle, and you would plug your pump into there. I don't do it that way. I have pumps down here, one for the bottle on this side and one for the bottle on that side, but that is an option that you can use. And then this turns the pump on and off, or runs it forwards and backwards, so you would have an in to fill your plane and an out to empty the fuel tank. And then this red switch turns your pump setup here on and off. Over here is 1.2 volts for the glow plug, and you can turn the intensity up. And I use this. This is the only thing I use off of this panel, and is very useful because sometimes in the winter you need to turn the power up to your glow plug probably as high as 1.5 to 1.8, maybe as high as 2 volts to help start a cold alcohol burning engine. It's very helpful. These are generally not too expensive. You can get them from Tower Hobbies, and you can find them online. They're kind of a big hobby shop. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in the United States. And then these are the two fuel pumps. On this side, my fuel is 30% nitro. On this side, I have 0% nitro, which I use in this airplane. This airplane has a Super Tiger .75 in it, and it has high enough compression that I can run 0% nitro. And I mix, so there's no nitro in the fuel. It's simply methanol and Klotz oil. Klotz is simply a brand of oil. Oil that mixes well with alcohol. It's a % castor oil and a % synthetic oil. And the store that carries it locally quit carrying it, so I'm either going to have to order it online or find a new source. And then I have the same thing on this side of the box, and a pocket for more things. I use a lot of rubber bands. A couple of years ago I found a very old optical RPM gauge. You can tell it's been stored in somewhere where it was very, very hot. The case is a little cracked and messed up, but you turn it on there. You can see there that's for a two-bladed prop. I don't know what it thinks it's measuring because nothing's happening. There's 0. There we go. It needs a new battery probably. And then you can switch it on the side or push the button again for a 3-bladed prop. And you put this little optical eye in front of the propeller while it's spinning, and it'll tell you the RPM that your engine is turning at that throttle setting. And let's see, turns it off by pressing the button again. It's old, but if you keep a good battery in it, it works very good. It takes a little, I think it just takes a little AA. 2 AAA batteries. Yeah, the batteries are dead. This is the glow plug. I'm sure you've seen them. This one is burned out. I just kind of keep it around for, I don't know why I keep it. I just keep it, but it's burned out. It no longer works well. It fits right into the tool, and then you can screw it right into the head of the airplane. And you can see it's plenty long, so I can have my box away from the propeller when I'm starting the plane. As you can see, the parts are old. The wire is repurposed wire. All it has to do is work. You can see as you turn it up, you can see how the glow plug will glow. So top of the green is usually the way I adjust it. This is my battery compartment. And this is just a standard. Actually, this is a lawnmower battery. I forgot that I had replaced it. So this is a standard lawnmower battery. It's a small battery, but it still weighs quite a bit, makes my box heavy. And there's the bottom of the control panel. And there's the big heavy wires that come up through the top of the lid and wire my studs where I put my alligator clips on. So that is my box. The only reason I show you my box is to show you how useful it is to have all your tools all in one place. But your box would be relevant to pockets for electric for batteries, for your electric motors, screwdrivers, pliers, and then for your gas model you could incorporate a fuel bottle and maybe even some kind of pump. A lot of guys use a great big syringe like a veterinary would use. Back in the old days we even had some glass ones that we would get at the pharmacy somehow. I don't remember. But people still, if you see it on YouTube videos of the control line models, they still fill their airplanes up with syringes. So however you pump your fuel, however you fill it up, whatever your needs are, but a box is extremely handy. So when you unload wherever you're going to fly, you have everything right there. Handy, fun, and I took great pleasure in just building the box. It took me 2-3 weeks. It took a little while to round up some of the electronics. Some of it I had, some of it I had to order. The starter is from the early 70s and I don't know how. I still have it. My mother gave it to me for my birthday. And it's followed me all these years, and I still have that starter. So anyway, that's my box. You don't have to build it like I did. You build it the way you need it, but a flight box is amazingly handy. I hope I didn't bore you out of your mind. You have a great evening.